The story of the spy in the bag is a modern-day enigma, a locked-room mystery that sits at the intersection of high-stakes espionage, mathematical genius, and a tragic, lonely end. Long before he was a name in a headline, Gareth was a prodigy in the quiet village of Valley on Anglesey, Wales. While other children were navigating the playground, Gareth was navigating the complex landscapes of advanced mathematics. By age 13, he had already passed his GCSEs and A-levels. By 17, he had graduated with a first-class degree from Bangor University. He was a pure mathematician, the kind of mind that sees the world in patterns, codes, and logic. After completing a PhD at the University of Manchester, his brilliance caught the attention of the ultimate puzzle solvers, the UK GCHQ, Government Communications Headquarters. In 2001, Gareth was recruited into the world of signals intelligence. His specialty was cryptography. In the digital age, a man who can break codes is more valuable than a battalion. He was so effective that he was eventually seconded to SIS, MI6, in London, working on top-secret projects that involved international money laundering and cyber intelligence. Yet, outside the windowless rooms of intelligence agencies, Gareth was a man of contrasts. He was a world-class competitive cyclist, a hiker who loved the solitude of the mountains, and a man who took fashion design classes at Central St. Martin's in his spare time. He was fit, disciplined, and deeply private. The discovery happened on August 23, 2010. The mystery began not with a bang, but with silence. Gareth hadn't been seen for a week. When police arrived at his top-floor safe house in Pimlico, London, they found a flat that was disturbingly pristine. In the bathroom, they made a discovery that would haunt the British intelligence community for decades. Tucked inside a red North Face holdall, which was sitting in the bathtub, was Gareth's body. The bag was zipped shut from the outside and padlocked. The key to the padlock was found inside the bag, underneath his body. There were no signs of a struggle. No DNA from a second person was found on the zipper, the padlock, or the rim of the bathtub. There was nothing untoward in his system, though the advanced state of decomposition made some tests difficult. The question that paralyzed the investigation was simple: how did he get in there? In the official investigation into his unfortunate passing, his interest in escapology, the art of escaping from restraints, was a central point of debate. One specific incident from his past was brought to light during the 2012 inquest, providing a glimpse into his private experiments. This came from his former landlady, who had rented an annex to him in Cheltenham while he worked at GCHQ. 3 years before his passing, at approximately 1:30 a.m. on a winter night, the landlady and her husband were awoken by Gareth's shouts for help. Using a spare key to enter the annex, the couple found Gareth in the upstairs bedroom. He was wearing only boxer shorts and was lying on his back on the bed. His hands were attached to the bedpost with material that was so tight it had begun to make his skin sore. When his landlord, understandably shocked, asked what he was doing, Gareth was described as appearing embarrassed, panicky, and apologetic. He told them, "I just wanted to see if I could get myself free." Following the incident, Gareth promised it would never happen again, and the landlady noted that there were no further similar occurrences during his 10-year tenancy. This incident became a focal point for investigators trying to determine if the spy in the bag was a case of a solo experiment gone wrong. During the inquest, the coroner rejected the idea that Gareth's passing was the result of spicy activity, pointing out that his visits to specialized websites were intermittent and did not suggest an obsession. However, for the Metropolitan Police, the Cheltenham incident served as a precedent. It suggested that Gareth had a history of testing his physical limits in isolation, a habit that may have followed him to London and led to his final, fatal attempt to escape from the North Face bag. Because of this, the case split into two warring narratives, and each side had evidence that seemed to prove the other impossible. 1. The solo act gone wrong. The Metropolitan Police eventually leaned toward the theory that Gareth's passing was a tragic accident. They suggested he was interested in escapology, or spicy time, and had attempted to lock himself in the bag for a thrill, only to find he couldn't get out. But there was a flaw in that theory. Experts and world-renowned escapologists tried to replicate the feat hundreds of times. Almost none could do it, and those who did said the level of dexterity required in a pitch-black, suffocating bag was nearly superhuman. 2. The state-sponsored dispatch. Many, including Gareth's family, believed he unlawfully passed away. Theories suggested he had uncovered sensitive information, perhaps regarding Russian money laundering, and was liquidated by a foreign intelligence service or even his own. Forensic experts noted the lack of touch DNA. To some, this didn't mean he was alone. It meant the scene had been professionally scrubbed by a team of experts who knew exactly how to leave no trace. The coroner eventually ruled that Gareth was likely to have passed away unlawfully, stating that a third party probably placed the bag in the bath and locked it. The coroner was critical of how MI6 handled the case, noting they failed to report him missing for several days. However, a year later, a follow-up investigation by the Metropolitan Police reached the opposite conclusion, that he had likely acted alone. Today, the case remains officially closed but unofficially debated. Gareth remains a ghost in the machinery of the British state, a man who spent his life breaking the world's hardest codes, only to leave behind a puzzle that no one, not even his colleagues at GCHQ, has been able to solve. What do you think happened? Like and subscribe for more true crime videos. And let me know your theories about the spy in the bag in the comments section.